Buccaneers will be the worst team in this division. They were traded away Mike Evans, probably at the trade deadline. Their offensive line is abysmal. I do like the potential for Rachaad White and maybe Chris Godwin in this offense, but that's really about it. There's not really a lot that you can trust. Their defense, Shaq Barrett's coming off a major injury, torn Achilles for an older pass rusher too. That's going to be hard for him to be able to come by. I like Vita Vea. I still like their run defense a lot, but again, how much are they going to be able to keep? They signed a lot of these guys to big contracts, and there's other guys from that 2018 and 2019 draft that got to get signed. No more Byron Leftwich, no more Bruce Arians. And the great Todd Bowles, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, worst team in that division, 4-13. Number 3 for me, I got the Atlanta Falcons. I think they did improve in this offseason. It's just a lot of new defensive players all at once. A couple good edge rushers, too. They bring in Bud Dupree, who's been a good veteran with the Steelers and the Titans. They bring in David Onyemata, defensive tackle. Jesse Bates, one of the best safeties in the league. The problem is they don't have a lot with the key positions. Lack some edge rushing. They have some young guys, but again, they don't really have a true number 1 pass rusher. And outside of A.J. Terrell, can they find a number 2 in depth corner beyond that? Offensively, we know they're going to run the ball a ton. They got Bijan, they got Algier, and they got Cordero Patterson. Kyle Pitts, hopefully he gets targeted more. Falcons sneakily did have one of the best offensive lines, though, in football. Where are they going to get the passing attack from? And that you need that in today's NFL. I think they're going to have a creative offense, but I do think teams will catch up to it in the second half of the season. So I'm going to say the Falcons are 3rd place. I'm going to say 8-9. Carolina 2nd, 9-8. Kind of a slow starting team. A lot of new coaches all at once. Good coaches. Frank Reich as the head coach. Ivero coming from Broncos as defensive coordinator. I think that'll help them a lot. Their edge rushing has been very good. And their secondary, very underrated for the Panthers, too. They just got to stay healthy with guys like Chin, guys like J.C. Horn. We'll see on C.J. Henderson. But offensively, they lack the skill position players to get him going on a faster rate. I love Bryce Young as a talent. I think he's going to be a very good quarterback in this league. It's going to be hard for running backs and wide receivers coming over from other teams to learn that new system right away. And we saw last year, older receivers really have trouble in today's game. And Adam Thielen was one of them that was really just more of a touchdown guy last year. Charks had some injury issues. Jonathan Mingo, a rookie to watch out for, I think could emerge as a potential top target for them. But their offensive line, their defense will keep them afloat. So I still have them 2nd in the division. I think they're right on the outside of the playoff teams in the NFC. 9-8 for the Carolina Panthers. And the number 1 for me, I got the Saints. Even without Alvin Kamara for the first 3 games, I think they could win 2 of those games. They could beat the Packers. They could beat the Titans. I think Carolina would be the tough one, but I think they'll be just fine. Their offensive line is getting healthier from where they were last year. Their first-round pick, Trevor Penning, was hurt a lot of the year last year. Eric McCoy, the center, who got a big contract, was also hurt. When you look at the second year of this coaching staff, too, I think they'll be able to transition a little bit better, too. Now, their defense did lose a couple pieces. Marcus Davenport goes to the Vikings. A couple of their veteran defensive backs either retired or went elsewhere, too. So can they get that second pass rusher next to Cameron Jordan? But they still got Demario Davis there. Pete Warner, quietly one of the best young linebackers. And they've drafted a lot of good DBs recently, too. So I think the Saints will be just fine, even with Kamara there. Derek Carr obviously coming over. I think the Saints win the division at 10-7.
Tampa's the worst team. They don't even have a quarterback. I believe Mike Evans is going to want out. I think Godwin's going to want out. They're not going to want to be there. This team is an absolute joke. They have good wide receivers. They have a good running game. And the defense, White wants out. I expect him to be traded one way or another at the trade deadline. This team is completely a debacle. And right now, with Todd Bowles running that team, this team is going to be an absolute joke in the NFC. This could be the worst team in the NFC. I think they'll be looking for a quarterback in next year's draft. They'll be drafting in the top 10 next year. Tampa wins 5 or 6 games. They're the worst team in the division. I'm going Carolina, 3rd place. I don't trust right now with a rookie quarterback. I think in the position that they are in this year, I think Bryce Young will be a good quarterback. The question is this offensive line going to be able to protect him? He is small. He could get hurt this year. The defense is very well built. Is the defense going to be enough if the offense can't put enough on the board? I don't know if they can. I question Carolina's offensive side of the ball and the quarterback play, especially losing DJ Moore in that trade. They don't have a number 1 target. Don't tell me Adam Thielen, because he is not the guy. Carolina will win 8 games this year, no more than 9. Carolina is my 2nd to worst team in the division. I have Atlanta at 2nd place. I think they could be a borderline playoff team. This offense is going to be fun to watch. Robinson's going to be fun. Patterson is still there. They have Pitts. They have Drake. This is an explosive team, and they're going to be able to run the ball. And their defense, they added Jesse Bates, who is a great defender, one of the better secondary players in all of football. He will help out a very weak secondary from last year, and a defense that I think is going to be a lot better. I think they're going to be able to put pressure. The question is Desmond Ridder the guy? I do believe that Desmond Ridder is a lot better than people think he's going to be. He's going to be a run and throw quarterback. He will be able to use his legs. The question is his size going to matter in the NFL? He's so thin, and he can get hurt very, very quickly. There's no more Marcus Mariota there. He's backing up right now Jalen Hurts. I think this team's better offensively than people think. I think they're going to put up numbers. I think they're going to put up scores. I think they'll be able to compete against some of the worst teams in this conference. So give me Atlanta. I think they win 10 games this year. Number 1 team, it's the Saints. Derek Carr, the weapons that he has, Olave, they're going to be able to run the ball when Alvin Kamara comes back. This offensive line's a veteran offensive line that can put up numbers, and this defense is as good as any defense in football. This defense was one of the sack-leading defenses 2 years ago. I really, really like the Saints. I think they win about 11 or 12 games.